And what is good, y'all? Welcome back to the YouTube page. I am Director Z, or you can just call me Luis if you know me like that. And I'm very excited. It was just recently announced that we will be getting a Starship Troopers reboot. And as someone who's, okay, I'm on the fence with a lot of reboots and remakes. I will, no matter what, that, stand and defend the Evil Dead 2003 remake. That is one of my favorite remakes of all time. But this is gonna be a little different. It's not gonna be a direct reboot. It's not gonna be a direct sequel either. But it is going to be a more direct book adaptation from, I think his name is Randline, the author of the original book that came out in 1960. That's won multiple awards. That's inspired so many other science fiction scale stories, and it's also going to be directed by none other than Neill Blomkamp. And if you do not know that name, it is a household name for a lot of sci-fi names, including the name right there that says District 9. And if you don't know Elysium, if you don't know Chappie, he also recently directed Gran Turismo. Then there was more recently also the possession sci-fi movie Demonic. I haven't really sat through it or whatever, but I do believe it is about high time that this guy went back into sci-fi, especially after Oats Studios. Sci-fi is his niche, and I'm very, very excited for this. Mostly because it's also been confirmed that it's going to be a more direct book adaptation. Paul Verhoeven's OG is the best. I like, of course, it is the best. There's no denying that. Starship Troopers is an OG classic of political military satire, and it is one of the best sci-fis of all time. But it is not a direct book adaptation. The original book had a lot more militarized boot camps, a little less of that propaganda infomercial stuff, which I love, by the way, which is why I still think the movie stands on its own and it's still really well done for even the time that it came out. But one of the significant differences of the original movie, with Casper Van Dien and of course Paul Verhoeven directed, and the this one that's coming out, is that the book adaptations had something that the original movies did not have, that Neill Blomkamp has definitely 100% experience in, and that is the Starship Troopers mech suit, or the power suit for those of you who don't know. And they are literally these mechanized war suits that are made for killing Clandathans and the Clandathu. And they have machine gun arms and missile launchers on their shoulders and like close combat weaponry. And they have like these exoskeleton kind of suits in the book, but in the movie, Paul Verhoeven, of course, at the time, even with movies like RoboCop and other sci-fi spectacles under his belt, I'm not sure which one came first, or like Total Recall, blah, 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 but I know for a fact that the exosuits would have been a little bit over the top, and for him, I guess it would have been like, even later they knew in Starship Troopers 3 that there would be suits that don't look like this, but that there would be mech suits or power suits that would be somewhat not the same as the book, but there would be like suits that can shoot and fire machine guns and missiles and have defense against Clandathu, and is like, they're like last resort type shit in Starship Troopers 3, which I haven't seen, but I know that they are in them. So if you haven't like mech suits in war, it's like, like that the Matrix, when they have those suits and they're fighting against the robots, that shit goes hard as hell. And I know for a fact that Neil Blomkamp is going to do a really good job with these suits, because in District 9, as well as fucking Elysium, yeah, he's done them really, really, really well. Like Elysium had this exosuit with Matt Damon, and it was like a big old border metaphor. And then the robot suit in District 9 was a fucking demon. So I'm really looking forward to how Blomkamp is going to cover it. Another thing that was a difference between a movie and the books was the psychic link premonition stuff. Neil Patrick Harris's character did cover that like a little bit, just a little, but I'm not sure if the book will expand on it, the psychic link dogs or whatever. But that aspect was definitely not as expanded upon as, like, the political satire and the military stuff and the other side character. In the book, there are no side characters. In the book, is just all monologue inside of Johnny Rico's head. So that's completely different from what we get in this movie in the OG, and the ending is also significantly different too. So a book adaptation between what this was and what the actual thing we got in the movie was significantly different. They cut out a lot of the exosuits and the psychic stuff to make more of like a join the army, fucking commercials and infomercials like America kind of does, and like lying about why we're going to war, the reasons for it, or whatever. But Blomkamp definitely has a lot of sci-fi under his belt. District 9, Elysium, and Chappie. So when it comes to robots and war and even aliens, Neill Blomkamp is going to do exceptional, and as he's done in the past. So I know for a fact that this Starship Troopers reboot is going to be fantastic, and I'm fucking excited to see what war suits we're going to get, whether they're like Edge of Tomorrow or like fucking Space Marine. There's so many possibilities, and there's so many different things that he can do. And this is his. I did want him to go back to this fucking Gran Turismo and Demonic, or little steps in different directions. But this is what I wanted Blomkamp to do. So I'm really, really excited. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share the video if you liked it. And give me a comment of what you think of the Starship Troopers reboot announced, directed by Neill Blomkamp, and what you expect to see from it, and what you think about the OG. And yeah.